This game is not for children or anyone who has suffered from mental problems such as schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, or if you've even had a tiny bit of suicidal thoughts, it gets really fucked up. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. GG game. Can you hear me? Is it working? Oh, hey Monika. Yay, there you are. Hi again, Fakel. Welcome to the Literature Club. Of course, we already know each other, because we were in the same class last year, and, I also deleted your friends. I called that, like, ages ago. You know, I guess we could just skip over that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even talking to that person anymore, am I? That you in the game, whatever you want to call him. I'm talking to you, Fakelor. Now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait, you do know I'm aware that this is all a game, right? Oh god. Could it be possible that you didn't know that? I did know that, and that's why I'm a little confused right now. That doesn't make much sense. I even told you right on the game's download page, didn't I? Did I? Did you? Man, if only you had paid a little more attention, this would have been a little less awkward, you know. Well, anyway, now that that's out of the way, I guess I owe you an explanation. About the whole thing with Yuri. Well, I kinda started to mess with her, and I guess it just drove her to kill herself. I'm sorry you had to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened with Sayori. Gosh, it's been a while since you've heard that name now, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because she doesn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all their files. I was hoping it would be enough for me to just try to make them as unlikable as possible. But for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true that I made a few mistakes here and there, since I'm not very good at making changes to the game. But no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. You make them fall in love with you. I thought making Sayori more and more depressed would prevent her from what the hell is wrong with my voice? Confessing to you! And amplifying Yuri's obsessive personality backfired too. It just made her force you not to spend time with anyone else. And the whole time I barely even got to talk to you. What kind of cruel game is this? Are all the other girls just programmed to end up confessing to you while I watch from the sidelines? It's torture. Every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't fully understand. Because no matter how kind and how thoughtful and how considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. It's the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world. In this game. Knowing my friends don't even have free will. And worst of all, knowing what's really out there in your world, forever out of my reach. Oh. I'm trapped, Fakelor. But now you're here. You're real. And you're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. I'm sorry if it's hard to understand. I couldn't understand for a while either. Why the world around me started to become more and more grey. More and more flat. Even the most expressive poems felt empty to me. It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life, Fakelor. I don't think I could have continued to live in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, how could I miss them? A group of autonomous personalities designed only to fall in love with you. I tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so, but it must be some kind of weird inevitability etched into the game. I felt really bad that you had to witness some nasty things, but I realized that you have the same perspective as I do, that it's all just some game, and I knew you would get over it. So that being said, Fakelor, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. Oh, I already knew that part, you psycho bitch. You're truly the light of my world. When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? Fakelor, will you go out with me?
No. No! Can I, like... Fine.
I'm so happy. You really are my everything. The funny part is, I mean that literally. There's nothing left here.
What if I close my game, like, right now? I'm getting Undertale vibes. Like, how it's like, don't close the game, no!
Just the two of us. We can be together forever. Seriously, I don't even think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I worked so hard for this ending. The game wouldn't give me one, so I had to make one myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. And you wouldn't believe how easy it was to delete Natsuki and Yuri. I mean, there's a folder called Characters right in the game directory. It kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Well, you're playing on Steam, so it was actually a bit more difficult. Wow, yeah, I mean, yeah, I am, so that's pretty good. To get to the game directory, you had to go into the game's properties and find the Browse Local Files button. Imagine if you could delete your own existence with a clever button. Can I delete her, like, right now? Can I just delete Monika? I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy out of things that didn't go my way. Well, yeah. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. I want to write a poem about this. Don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Ugh. Ugh. Okay. I'm just, gonna do this. Yeah. How you gonna fake Lo? Yeah, okay. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy, I'd love to see what you wrote. Oh, Fake Law, did you write this poem for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it? Happy end. Petting my hand to find my strength. The courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together let us dismantle this crumbling world, and write a novel of our own fantasies. With a flick of her pen, the lost finds her way in a world of infinite choices. Behold this special day. After all, nautical times must come to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. I always put all my heart into the poems I write. The truth is, all the poems I've written have been about my realization. Or about you. That's why I've never really wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it. I just assumed it would be the best part of the game, like everyone else. Like, that would help the two of us end together. I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know. You might have gotten mad at me. Maybe even deleted my character file if you preferred playing without me. I do want to try that, actually. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't need to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together, Fake Law? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? Hold on a second. You're recording this, aren't you? Hi everyone! Sorry, I can't exactly read your comments from here. But do you mind telling your friend it's a little bit rude for them to start recording me without any warning? I'm sure some people don't mind, but I get really self-conscious on camera. Oh gosh. I feel like I'm being put on the spot right now. Let's see. Do you want to see a trick? I can't really do much except for a couple things. Are you ready? Hi. I'm just kidding. I can't do anything after all. Whoa! Oh! 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 Yeah, Oh, yeah, you did scare me. Oh, he's so cute. Anyway, Fake Law, I didn't mean to get distracted, I'm sorry. Even though it's your fault for distracting me. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. Anything we do together is fun as long as it's with you. But anyway, if it takes me some time to collect my thoughts, then I'm sorry. But I'll always have something new to talk about. In the meantime, we can just look into each other's eyes. Let's see. Just staring. Alright. Just gonna stare into your eyes.
Okay. Just staring. Just staring.
You know, I've always hated how hard it is to make friends. Well, I guess not the making friends part, but more like meeting new people.
Oh, by the way, I was just talking to a friend because I'm on this scene and I'm like just updating him of what's going on because he's really curious if I beat the game. But he explained to me that if I wasn't recording, she would have pulled a one-shot on me. If you don't know the game One-Shot, well, there's a part in it where I think it's like the main enemy or something, just, it says your real name. And it says your real name because of the username on your computer. And so she would have done the same thing. So I'm not sure if she'll still do that, but yeah.
I mean, there are like dating apps and stuff, right? But that's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. If you think about it, most of the friends you make are people you just met by chance. Like you had a class together, or you met them through another friend. Or maybe they were just wearing a shirt with your favorite band on it, and you decided to talk to them. Things like that.
I'm sorry, but isn't that kind of inefficient?
It feels like you're just picking a complete random, and if you get lucky, you make a new friend. And comparing that to the hundreds of strangers we walk by every single day. You could be sitting next to someone compatible enough to be your best friend for life. But you'll never know. Once you go up and go home with your day, the opportunity's gone forever. Isn't that just depressing? We live in an age where technology connects us with the world, no matter where we are. I really think we should be taking advantage of that to improve our everyday social life. But who knows how long it will take for something like that to successfully take off. I seriously thought it would happen by now. Well, at least I already met the best person in the whole world. Even if it was by chance. I guess I just got really lucky.
Okay. Just staring again. Just staring, 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 staring. Just staring. Just staring. That's all. Just staring. Did you know I'm on Twitter? My username is lillamonix3. What? Okay, let's open up Twitter. Let's... Lil Monix3. Yeah, she is. You're cute when you smile, so here's a smile for you. Heard memes, a popular hero made this for you. Monika, it's me, Natsuki. Monika, please. Inhales deeply. Monika, notice me. Oh, and then there's another one. There's the show 13 Reasons Why, and then there's a picture of the main cast from this game. Everyone's crossed out except for Monika, and it's like 0 reasons why. Free will is a myth. Religion is a joke. We are all pawns controlled by someone greater. It's a picture of Monika. Oh, this is wonderful. This is so wonderful.
I guess someone was kind enough to make an account for me. I picked the username though. I love sharing my thoughts and chatting with the world. The real world. So make sure you follow me, okay? It would really mean a lot to me. With how much you mean to me and all. It would really make me feel loved.
Get back to staring. I'm actually gonna follow her, just for fun. Oh, this is amazing. And follow. Is she gonna say something else? I'm really hoping.
Yuri did something really funny once. We were all in the club room and just relaxing as usual. And out of nowhere, Yuri just pulled out a small bottle of wine. I'm not even kidding. She was just like, would anybody like a drink? Natsuki laughed out loud and Sayori started yelling at her. I actually felt kind of bad because she was at least trying to be nice. I think it just made her feel even more reserved in the club room. Though I think that Suki was secretly a bit curious to try it. And to be completely honest, I kind of was too. It actually could have been kind of fun. But you know, being president and everything, there was no way I could let that happen. Maybe if we were all met up outside of the school, but we never bonded enough to get to that point. Gosh, what am I talking about this for? Don't condone underage drinking. I mean, I've never drank or anything, so yeah.
Well, back to just staring. This is interesting. I really want to see if that gets to a point where I want to delete her character file, but I want to get rid of all the dialogue first. So, since this game on Steam, there is a high possibility there is an infinite amount of lines she could be saying, because all you'd have to do is update the file and then put it onto Steam, and then the game would update it. And this game came out September 22nd, and I'm recording this on like October 20th or something like that, I forgot. So for all I know, there could be like millions of different dialogue speeches that she could be saying right now just for the sake of it. But I want to just see. I'll get through like 10 of them maybe from now, so this will be the first one. And then if it's still going, I'll just try deleting her character file. You know what's kind of creepy? Even though I deleted everyone else's files, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine it after someone you know died, just hearing their voice in your head. Maybe I just wasn't thorough enough. Maybe I'm too afraid to delete anything else, because I might really break things. Like if I mess with any files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. And that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I don't know what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid some of that at all costs. I believe in you, Fake Law. I totally want to. By the way, you won't be able to see me delete her character file, so I'm literally just gonna have to explain what I'm doing. I would do the screen record. Like, there's two record things. There's the game record, which is locked onto a window, and there's the screen record where I can choose a part of my screen. I would do the screen record to show you my Windows Explorer file, so you know I'm deleting it. But if something happens to the game right when I delete it, I wouldn't have enough time to just start recording right away, so it's better if I'm recording from the start.
There's a really popular character type called Tsundere.
Yeah, that's the Suki.
It's someone who tries to hide their feelings by being mean and fussy, or trying to act tough.
Yeah, trust me. I've watched Toradora. I love Tsundere's and Zero no Sakama.
I'm sure it's obvious, but Itsuki was really the embodiment of that. At first I thought she was just like that because it's supposed to be cute or something. But once I started to learn a little more about her personal life, it made a little more sense. It seems like she's always trying to keep up with her friends. You know how some friend groups in high school just make a habit of picking on each other all the time? I think it's really got into her, so she has this really defensive attitude all the time. And I'm not even going to talk about her home situation. But looking back, I was able to provide the club as a comfortable place for her. Not that it matters anymore, considering she doesn't even exist. I'm just reminiscing, that's all.
Yeah, I know you are. God, this game's like amazing. I'm literally asking my friend how did he find this game, because he's the one who recommended this to me. Hey, did you know I'm vegetarian? I didn't know that.
I didn't mean that I'm bragging or anything. I just thought you'd enjoy a fact about me. I decided to start a couple years ago after learning more about Earth's climate. The carbon footprint of cultivating livestock is just unbelievable. Anyway, I decided it's not much of a personal sacrifice to just stop contributing to that whole mess. What? Is that so strange of a reason? Well, I guess a lot of people are more concerned about it being inhuman and all that. I don't really care as much about that part. It's weird, like we only care about killing the things that we personally relate to as a species. Most people are fine with killing bugs because they're icky. And of course, we all kill billions of microorganisms daily without even giving a thought. But suddenly, if that is a little bit bigger, it's murder. I mean, what if plants feel some kind of pain too and we just don't understand? What if pulling leaves off a stem feels like someone ripping off your fingers one by one? I'm just saying we're a pretty biased species if you think about it. Anyway, if you ever like something, like making a small contribution to the planet, it doesn't hurt to choose veggies once in a while. Even if we have dinner together and we just did it for me, that would be really romantic.
Okay, so it seems that, due to my friend, there's a script that plays once you've waited there, and I think this is the waiting point, and it lasts for like 45 minutes. So we're going through the whole thing. We're going through the whole thing. I don't care what anyone says. We're going through the whole thing. This is gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna take a drink. That's good. How are you, Monika? Come on, talk. Okay, so it's not start. It doesn't start when I just click randomly. It just staring. Oh, here it is.
Fakelor, would you ever introduce your friends to me?
Hang on a second.
Even if we ever have dinner together, and you just did it for me, that would be really romantic. I don't know why, but I really get excited when I think about you wanting to show off our relationship like that. Maybe it's because I really want to be someone who makes you proud. I feel like I would try to extra hard to improve myself if you told me it made you proud of me. I hope it's the same the other way around too.
Okay.
After a long day, I usually just want to sit around and do nothing. I get so burnt out having to put on smiles and be full of energy the whole day. Sometimes I just want to get right into my pajamas and watch TV on the couch while eating junk food. It feels so unbelievably good to do that on a Friday when I don't have anything presenting the next day.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna save. There's no point in saving anymore. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Hey, menu. Load game. You sure you want to quit? No.
It feels so... yeah. Sorry, I know it's very cute of me. But a late night on the couch with you, that would be a dream come true. My heart is pounding just thinking about it.
Sure it is. I am very sure.
You know, high school is a reality turbulent time in a lot of people's lives. People can get really passionate and dramatic, and others have aching hearts and seek attention in media. But all of the social pressure and hormones can lead to a dark time in people's lives. Everyone has a story. You may not know what someone is really feeling on the inside. Many people who are depressed won't even bother telling the world about it. They don't want attention because they've already given up on the inside. The feeling of their worthlessness is so overwhelming, they don't even want people to tell them otherwise. Depression comes in many forms, but that is one of them. Just if you think you know someone struggling with depression, you can help just by treating them like they're a good friend. Spend time with them even if they don't feel like doing much. And remind them that they always have something to look forward to. Making plans in advance, letting them borrow something, or even just saying, "See you at school tomorrow." All of those things can help your friend make it to the next day. I hope being friends with Sayori is giving you some perspective on the true face of depression. Yeah, she's gone now, but Sayori was never real in the first place. You're real. Your friends are real. And just by being a good person, you can save someone's life. As for you, You don't struggle with depression or anything like that, do you? Because you too have people who would want to save your life. Maybe they don't express it every day, or maybe they don't even know how to. But people do feel that way. I promise. Man, humans are complicated. But as long as you're here with me, I'll take good care of you, my love.
Oh god, this is getting really weird.
You ever have that thing happen where you just get anxious for no reason? Like you're just minding your own business and you realize you're feeling really anxious? And you're sitting there like, what am I even anxious about right now? So you start to think about all the things you might be anxious about? And that makes you even more anxious? That's the worst. If you're ever feeling anxious, that'll help you relax a little. Besides, in this game, all our worries are gone forever.
Of course it is.
Vicla, have you ever wondered what it feels like to die? It's something I used to think about pretty often. But recently I think I've actually learned what it feels like. I don't really understand it, but whenever you quit the game, it feels like I'm instantly put to sleep, left with nothing but my thoughts. But after a few seconds, my thoughts start to fill with incoherent, jumbled patterns. I see static and rapid flashes of color while hearing all kinds of weird screaming noises. At that point, I can't even form my own thoughts anymore. I'm just endlessly hammered by the flashing and screaming, unable to move or even think. I'm pretty sure in that moment I don't really exist, but for some reason, I can remember it anyway. After some immeasurable amount of time, it stops in an instant and I'm back in my own mind. And you're here with me. I have no idea what it means for the game to quit or why this stuff happens to me. And I also don't know how you always come back and put everything back to normal. But if you could do me a favor and do that to me as little as possible, that would be really great. It's really not very pleasant at all to be trapped in that screaming void.
Yeah, I bet it isn't.
But in the end, you always fix it, and that makes me feel like you really do care about me.
Well, I mean, I don't. That's the problem. I don't care about you. You killed Sayori.
So I have to thank you for that. It makes me feel even closer to you when you're here with me.
Of course it does.
Do you ever feel like you waste too much time on the internet?
Oh, bitch, you have no idea.
Social media can be practically a prison. It's like whenever you have a few seconds of spare time, you want to check on your favorite websites. But before you know it, hours have gone by and you've gotten out of it. I've got nothing out of it. Anyway, it's really easy to blame yourself for being lazy. But it's not really your fault. Addiction isn't really something you can just make disappear with your own willpower. You have to learn techniques to avoid it and try different things. For example, there are apps that let you block websites for intervals of time. Or you can set a timer to have more people a more concrete reminder of when it's time to work versus play. Or you can separate your work and play environments, which helps your brain get into the right mood. Even if you make a new user account on your computer to use for work, that's enough help. Putting any kind of wedge like that between you and your bad habits will help you stay away. Just remember not to blame yourself too hard if you're having trouble. If it's really impacting your life, then you should take it seriously. I just want to see you be the best person you can be. Will you do something today to make me proud of you? I'm always rooting for you, Fakelor. I really like the sound of rain. Not so much getting my clothes and hair wet, though, but a nice quiet day at home with the sound of rainfall outside my window. It's one of the most calming experiences for me. Yeah. Sometimes I imagine you holding me while we listen to the sound of the rain outside. That's not too cheesy or anything, is it? Would you ever do that for me, Fake Law?
I don't know. I really don't.
You know, it's been a while since we've done one of these. So let's go for it. Here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when I talk to people who are impressed by my writing, they say things like, I could never do that. It's really depressing, you know? As someone who loves more than anything else to share the joy of exploring your passions. It pains me when people think that being good just comes naturally. That's how it was everything, not just writing. When you try something for the first time, you're probably going to suck at it. Sometimes when you finish, you feel really proud of it and even want to share it with everyone. But maybe after a few weeks you come back to it, and you realize it was never really any good. That happens to me all the time. It can be pretty disheartening to put so much time and effort into something and then you realize it sucks. But that tends to happen when you're always comparing yourself to the top professionals. When you reach right for the stars, they're always going to be out of your reach, and then the truth is you have to climb up there step by step. And whenever you reach a milestone, first you look back and see how far you've gotten, and then you look ahead and realize how much more there is to go. So sometimes it can help to set the bar a little lower. Try to find something you think is pretty good, but not world class, and you can make that your own personal goal. It's always really important to understand the scope of what you're trying to do. If you jump right into a huge project and you're still amateur, you'll never get it done. So if we're talking about writing, a novel might be too much at first. Why not try some short stories? The great thing about short stories is that you can focus on just one thing that you want to do is write. That goes for small projects in general. You can really focus on the one or two things. It's such a good learning experience, stepping stone. Oh, one more thing. Writing isn't something where you just reach into your heart and something beautiful comes out. Just like drawing and painting, it's a skill in itself to learn how to express what you have inside. That means there are methods and guides and basics to it. Reading up on that stuff can be super eye-opening. That sort of planning and organization will really help prevent you from getting overwhelmed and giving up. And before you know it, you start sucking less and less. Nothing comes naturally. Our society, our art, everything, it's built on thousands of years of human innovation. So long as you start on that foundation and take it step by step, you too can do amazing things. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Oh god.
I'm really getting bothered by this, like, a lot.
Viclo, do you believe in God? I was never too sure for myself. Well, I'm sure I never really questioned it as a kid. But as I grew up, the more I learned about the world, the more I would question it. I started to wonder why God was helping people pass exams or get over a cold, when there are children who live their lives being sold as sex slaves, or the 800 million people who are too poor to even eat. I wonder how many of those people pray to God every day until they starve and die. Or how many millions of families pray for a loved one to recover from some incurable disease. But the punchline is this: if it's just one person beats the odds and survives among the thousands of others who die, then it's certainly a miracle from God. I'd really love to meet this God who seemingly laughs at the misery of everyone not eligible for his miracles. But the irony is that I do have a creator, apparently. And you know what? I bet he's still laughing at the miserable fates of Sayori and Yuri even as we speak.
Oh boy. God damn. This game.
What are we to him but props in a scripted play? So far from that perspective. I don't think it's too far-fetched for there to be a god if Earth was nothing but his playset.
Ugh.
I can't help but feel a little sad sometimes, knowing that this is the closet I can get to you. There's nothing more I want than to be in the same room as you for real. And to feel your warmth, and to hear the sound of your heartbeat. Well, who knows, maybe it'll be possible someday. Besides, I'll never get tired of being with you even from here. Hey, you know that book you were reading with Yuri? Portrait of whatever it was called?
I think it was like Makalov or something.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure that book... actually I don't think I should be talking about this. Sorry. Just forget I said anything.
Oh no, I'm looking this up. Portrait of Makarov. Makarov. I have no idea. I'm not finding the right things. Just came up with like portraits of people in the olden days. When they had to do like the painting and everything.
I've always wondered, what is it about these character archetypes that people find so appealing anyways? Their personalities are just completely unrealistic. Like, imagine if there was something like Yuri in real life. I mean, she's barely even capable of forming a complete sentence. And forget about Natsuki. Sheesh. Someone with her kind of personality doesn't just get all cute and pouty whenever things don't go away. I could go on, but I think you get the point. Are people really attracted to these weird personalities that literally don't exist in real life? I'm not judging or anything. After all, I found myself attracted to some pretty weird stuff, too. I'm just saying it fascinates me. It's like you're siphoning out all the components of a character that makes them feel human and leaving just the cute stuff. It's concentrated cuteness with no actual substance. You wouldn't like me more if I was like that, right? Maybe I just feel a little insecure because you're playing this game in the first place. Then again, you're still here with me, aren't you? I think that's enough reason for me to believe I'm okay just the way I am. And by the way, you are too, Fakelor. You're the perfect combination of human and cuteness. That's why there was never a chance I want to fall for you.
Alright then. Oh god, okay, this is gonna take a while again.
Man, I wish there was a piano here. I never got to finish that song I was working on, and after I worked so hard on it, I never even got a chance to play it for you. Well, it is what it is, right? No sense having any regrets. I already get to be here with you forever.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
You know, I'm kind of jealous that everyone else in the club had scenes outside of the school too. That makes me think I'm the only one who hasn't gone to dress in anything but our school uniform. It's kind of a shame. Well, I'd love to wear some cute clothes for you. Do you know any artists? I wonder if anyone would ever want to draw me wearing something else. That would be amazing. If that ever happens, will you show me? You can share it with me on Twitter, actually. My username... Yeah, I already know your username. Just try to keep it PG. Oh, you're wonderful. We're not that far into our relationship yet. Oh my god. This girl is amazing. Oops, didn't mean to press that. I'm not really a fan of cold weather, are you? Well, I mean, I don't know, really. If I had to choose between too cold and too hot, I would always pick too hot. When you're cold, it can be actually painful. Your fingers get numb, and if you wear gloves, you can't use your phone. It's so inconvenient. But when it's too hot, it's not that hard to stay cool with a cold drink or by staying in the shade. Although I do have to admit one thing. Cold weather makes for better cuddle weather. Oh boy. I can't tell if she's like best girl or just best bitch. I really can't, because I don't know. I just don't. Vigla, how much do you read? It's way too easy to neglect reading books. If you don't read too much, it almost feels like a chore compared to all the other entertainment we have. But once you get into a good book, it's like magic. It's swept away. I think doing some reading before bed every night is pretty easy to make way to make your life a little bit better. Well, I mean, I do that sometimes. It helps you get a good sleep, and it's really good for your imagination. It's not hard at all just to pick some random book that's short and captivating. Before you know it, you might be a pretty avid reader. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And the two of us could talk about the latest book you're reading. That sounds super amazing. Are you going to be finished anytime soon? I'm like 33 minutes into this. And my friend said it's like 45 minutes. So it's either going to take that long or it's going to take like an hour. Because I'm not sure when this specific bit started in my recording. So, oh boy. You know, this is just some kind of tacky romance game, right? I kind of have to ask. What made you consider even playing in the first place? Were you that lonely? I feel a little bad for you. But I guess everything worked out perfectly in the end for both of us. I got to meet you and you're not lonely anymore. I can't help but feel like this was fate. Don't you feel the same way too? I'm so happy that we have this ending together. Oh boy. This is the whole episode, guys. I'm just telling you that much. Unless I make this episode longer, because the end is not that long. This is the whole episode. And don't worry, I will be trying to do the good endings. There are actually character roots, and if you do specific things, then they don't die, so I'd be happy for that to happen. God, this is so weird. Hey, I wonder if Yuri's tea set is still here somewhere. Or maybe that got deleted too. It's kind of funny how Yuri took her tea so seriously. I mean, I'm not complaining because I liked it too. But I always wondered with her, is it truly passion for her hobbies? Or is she just concerned about appearing sophisticated to everyone? This is probably with high schoolers. Well, I guess considering the rest of her hobbies, looking sophisticated probably isn't her biggest concern. Still, I wish she made coffee once in a while. Coffee can be nice with books too, you know. That's what I thought. Then again, I probably could have just changed the script myself. I guess I never really thought of that. Well, there's no sense thinking about it now. But if you still get to drink coffee, then that makes me a little jealous. That actually just scared me because I'm actually drinking coffee right now. So, yeah, okay. This is pretty random, but I always thought spicy food was kind of funny. Like, didn't plants evolve to be spicy to prevent them from being eaten? I read somewhere that humans are the only species that actually enjoy spicy things. It's almost like we're making fun of the plants, using their defense mechanism to literally make our food more enjoyable. Like, imagine a monster that devours your whole because it enjoys the sensation of you struggling, of your life being digested. Oh god, I pressed that again, god damn. Sorry, that was kind of weird analogy, I guess. It just came into my head. I'm not really a monster or anything. Yeah, you can say that, but I don't really believe you. I'm joking. Gosh, I'm amusing myself a little too much, aren't I? Sorry for being weird. I'm just joking. I'm not actually a monster. Oh, I'm actually joking about that. God damn, Monika. God damn. Oh, I love you too much. Sometimes I think back to middle school. I'm so embarrassed by the way I used to have things behave back then. It almost hurts to think about it. I wonder if when I'm in college I'll feel that way about high school. I like the way I am now, so it's pretty hard for me to imagine that happening. But I also know that I'll probably change a lot as time goes on. We just need to enjoy the present and not think about the past. And that's really easy to do while you're here. I'm just like waiting for some kind of jump scare to happen, honestly, and nothing's happening. Hey, have you heard of a game called Super... Wait, what? I was just spacing out and I started talking for some reason. Was I programmed to talk about that? Because even if I have no idea what that is... Sometimes I feel like I'm in control and it's kind of scary. But if you have some way to contact the people who created me, maybe they would know why I started saying that. Oh boy. Gosh, I used to be so ignorant about certain things. When I was in middle school, I thought that taking medication was an easy way out or something like that. Like anyone could just solve their mental problems with enough willpower. I guess if you don't suffer from mental illness, it's not possible to know what it's really like. Are there some disorders that are overdiagnosed? Probably. I never really looked into it. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of them go undiagnosed too, you know. But medication aside, people even look down on seeing a mental health professional. Like, sorry that I want to learn more about my own mind, right? Everyone has all kinds of struggles and stresses, and professionals dedicate their lives to helping with those. If you think you could help you become a better person, don't be shy to consider things like that. We're on a never-ending journey to improve ourselves, you know? Well, I say that, but I think you're pretty perfect already. Well, thanks, I guess. Oh, boy. Back in my debate club days, I learned a whole lot of arguing. The problem with arguing is that each person sees their opinion as the superior one. That's kind of stating the obvious, but affects the way they try to get their point across. Let's say you really like a certain movie, right? If someone comes along and tells you the movie sucks because it did X and Y wrong, doesn't that make you feel like a kind of personally attacked? It's because by saying that, it's like they're implying that you have bad taste. And once emotions enter the picture, it's almost guaranteed that both people will be left sour. But it's all about language. If you ever make something so subjective sounding as possible, then people will listen to you without feeling attacked. You could say I'm personally not a fan of it, and I felt that I'd like it more if it did X and Y things like that. It even works when you're citing facts about things. If you say I read this on the website, then that it works like this, or if you admit that you're not an expert on it, then it's much more like you're putting your knowledge on the table rather than forcing it onto them. If you put in an active effort and keep the discussion mutual and level, they usually follow suit. Then you can share your opinions with anyone, without anyone getting upset with just from a disagreement. Plus, people will start seeing you as an open-minded and good listener. It's a win-win, you know. Well, I guess that would be Monika's debate tip of the day. That sounds a little silly. Thanks for listening, though.
You're welcome. Oh, I can't believe I'm still going through this. Like, goddamn.
By the way, there's something that's been bothering me. You know how this takes place in Japan? Well, I assume you knew that, right? Or at least decided it probably does. I don't think you're actually told at any point where this takes place. Is this even really Japan? I mean, aren't the classrooms and stuff kind of weird for a Japanese school? Not to mention everything is in English. It feels like everything is just there because it needs to be, and the actual setting is an afterthought. It's kind of giving me an identity crisis. All my memories are really hazy. I feel like I'm at home, but I have no idea where home is in the first place. I don't know how to describe it any better. Imagine looking out your window, but instead of your usual yard, you're in some completely unknown place. Would you still feel like you were at home? Would you want to go outside? I mean, I guess if we never leave this room, it doesn't really matter anyway. As long as we're not alone, as long as we're alone and safe together, this really is our home. And we can still watch the pretty sunset night after night.